All right, man. Turn this up. You know what it is. All right, man. How y'all doing, man? Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's great. Hope your family's good. Hope your kids good. Hope your wife and your husband is good. Hope your girlfriend, your side chick, and everybody's good. Shout out to all the truck drivers who watch my show. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the ladies who getting their feet done listening to me in the headphones. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. You beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you anything else. So look, man, today's episode, Drake, Young Thug, the industry is being exposed for buying streams. And Young Thug has came out and said that he brought Gunna streams to go #1 over the weekend, which is crazy. So before we get into that, Legendary Spill, this is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App. No more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. 1,300 subscribers. Over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you are from. Hey, man, look. This is going to be a goodie. And I will say this before we even get into the episode. Somehow, I'm starting to see why Drake has distanced himself from a lot of these people. Because I think that I don't know if this for sure, but I think he was in on it too. And this is why he's going this way. See, he hasn't spoken of anything, hasn't said nothing. I mean, I remember when Young Thug got out of jail. And Drake flew out there and gave him $1 million. The guy who's talking about 100 M's, 300 M's, Drake gave him $1 million. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you give this man $1 million? Let's get into the episode, man. I don't want to talk about it. All right, man. Comes courtesy of Fantastic Hip Hop. Let's get it.
Now, when it comes to Drake, Young Thug, and so many other trash rappers which we are about to expose. Well, now, if you are ready to see how Young Thug just exposed how all of his buddies are some of the biggest frauds in rap, and with this, we now definitively know that from him to lame old cupcake Drake, they are faking streams. Make sure to leave that like and subscribe because now really, there are going to be some major implications on this, especially for the loser who keeps whining that everybody else but him and his own side of people are faking numbers. And once again, make sure to leave that.
That's the one thing I want to say too. If y'all saying that Not Like Us was botted, right? And they should take the streams away. So if y'all found out that all the Drake streams were botted, all the ones that went #1, and if y'all found out that all of those songs were botted, should they take all of that away as well? Should they take all? If let's say Drake let's say he had 17 songs that were #1, and the reason why they were #1 because they were botted. Should they take all of the #1s away from him? Should they do that? It's a question I have.
Because truly a box has just been opened that will never close, as within this moment, in all of this mess that is going on in what we are seeing as the rap game right now. Well, once again, if you are here not to be Traplo, Ross, or academics, but just want to see how all of this is about to affect hip-hop, well, over everything else we have just found out something that, to be honest, well, from Young Thug's own desperation to the way he exposed information about rappers he doesn't like, but also ones that he is very close friends with. Well, listen, for all the fake con losers, this is really bad, and so many people are about to get in big time trouble for this. And what I will say, as these comments are really affecting everybody from Young Thug to Drake to so many other rappers, and well, as a result, academics and other losers are trying to deflect these nasty things and put them on Kendrick Lamar. Well, I have to say, there really is just an issue.
Yeah, that's disgusting work. That's disgusting for academics to come out here and really try to put stuff on Kendrick. It's so crazy how you're saying like Gunna and Young Thug is directly tied to Drake. Directly tied to Drake. But for some reason, you trying to put Kendrick Lamar in the same category. So let me get this right. If Gunna used Kojo, if what's his name? Because he said he didn't know. So well, he didn't say that, but Young Thug said that he didn't know. He didn't know that he did that for him. He's saying he didn't know he did that for him. So if Young Thug is using Kojo, you said Kendrick was using Kojo. Drake talked about Kojo. So y'all telling me that Drake didn't use Kojo if this is the thing? Y'all telling me that he didn't use him? He's the only one that didn't use him, even though he spoke of him before anything happened. And on top of that, if Young Thug's your man, then you basically out with him too. Maybe that's the reason why Drake stepped away. Maybe that's why he stepped away. Maybe he stepped away because he felt like this is all going to topple sooner or later, and I gotta not be the one fall and be under the rubble like everybody else. Maybe that's what happened.
Around the information being presented and who people really want to put this blame on. So really make sure to leave that like so everybody can see what 100% is the truth here. And let's really just get into how we know that Drake is a bigger fake than ever, and so are all of his buddies. Which now with this is all coming from the audio drops that are coming from Young Thug's calls of when he was away, of course, and within this, well, from conversations with 21 Savage to comments about Gunna to so much else, well, we are really seeing a rare behind the scenes look for these rappers who hide behind these facades, where now in a rare moment, we are hearing from them without all the ego boosting, faking, and just straight delusion. And now speaking of faking, this is where things will really start to get messy, and well, with Young Thug's calls. The music industry has changed forever in terms of us just knowing how bad these rappers and artists are really stat padding, which all came in a vocal clip where first off, Young Thug was on the phone talking about how Gunna's DS Forever album got the #1 spot on the Billboard 200 over the weekend's Dawn FM record, and talking about this, he said when telling a story. Well, first off, this is important. Cash called me and said, which just side note, Cash is the Weeknd's manager, and then Young Thug said from here, the #1 album you had right now, I paid for you to have a #1 album. You didn't honestly earn a #1 album over the weekend. And then Young Thug went on to say that he never told.
That's crazy as hell. Bro, and listen, if I'm the Weeknd, oh man, I'm mad, bro. I'm mad as hell. That's crazy, bro. If this is what these artists are doing, bro, music is fucked, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If they doing this and they're doing this to win, bro, oh man, bro. Damn, bro. We in for some long, hard times. It's craziness.
The #1 album you had right now, I paid for you to have a #1 album. You didn't honestly earn a #1 album over the weekend. And then Young Thug went on to say that he never told Gunna any of that. And well, he admitted that he spent $50,000 getting streams for him. And with this, these are some big comments. And now, while with this alone, I guess you could try to write this off and say that he was trying to put Gunna down or act like he was really running his career or something along those lines. Well, beyond that, any of the loose ends that anybody could have about this stat padding streams were confirmed in another call that came out, where Young Thug found out that his 2023 album Business is Business was at a risk of not reaching #1 on the Billboard 200 because of Morgan Wallen's numbers. And what he did here? Well, while freaking out about this, he told his team to contact their fake streams plug. And let's just look at his words, which read, "You still got that plug, right? That stuff that we did with Gunna and them?" And now making this all worse with what we have just read and found out. There is so much to take away here, but at the very core of this, what we have now seen is one of the quote-unquote leaders and superstars of hip-hop over the last decade just 100% show us that, well, from his own brand to his supporting artists there, well, the success that he has created is a mere illusion. And when you see how buddy Young Thug has been with Lil Baby.
Damn, bro. I couldn't have put it no better than that. It has been an illusion. That's crazy. It has been an illusion. This whole time we have been duped into believing something. These dudes are paying. They're paying. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Drake, 21 Savage, and the rest of this crew who would just pop up on the same albums over and over again and really just release the same song for years. Well, if you are a stan who is on this other side and watching this, I'm sorry, I have to break it to you. Well, when you look at what we know, a lot of these things are making sense. And now going deeper, and when this comes back to people, especially like Drake, well, for the Cupcake Karen, he is done. Because now what we are seeing, first off, well, is that now Drake does have a portion of streams from an album where he has not one but 2 features and did have a key creative role on, seemingly. Well, where the numbers are fake and they were botted, and no matter what you want to say, in this time where everybody's yelling about what Kendrick did and they're trying to take him down and trying to say all these crazy things about his success, well, just to 100% know that some of the streams hanging around in Drake's catalog are fake. Well, I mean, there's nothing you can say to dispute this. We really do know that there are fake streams for 100% certainty in Drake's catalog. And now with this, between Drake having fake streams and this telling us that that feature stimulus package that they always said Drake had and made him so great and big for was never really because of his name, but it was because of bots and label machines, I mean, we are really finding out so much.
I'm telling y'all now, and this is probably the reason why Drake has stepped away. I'm telling y'all, Drake knows that there's something coming down, and this is all going to be exposed sooner or later. And I think he want to be clear of it. He want to stand clear of it. Because how crazy that is for these dudes to be protecting, or ain't protecting, but basically sticking up for him, and he's not saying nothing. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
About the tricks that Cupcake Karen and all of his buddies used to really hold us in one of the worst eras for rap in the history of the genre. But now beyond this, what made this entire situation weirder and what really did feel like an admission of guilt just from the way that they spoke and treated this coming out? Well, came from none other than the door-dashing final boss, DJ Academics. And now what Ak did that just seemed flat out suspicious and off, well, was used this reveal and major piece of info coming out by Young Thug to try and drag Kendrick Lamar back into this and say that these are the same tactics that Kendrick has been using and the games that he has been playing all along to have the greatest run we have seen in rap arguably ever and have one of the most dominant runs in terms of the numbers he has been putting up as a whole. And really listen, when I say that people including Ak are scared because their buddies are getting exposed and don't want more people to know the truth about the game and play that they have been running for years, this is absolutely what I am saying, because to deflect this info of 2 albums that...
And I see why Ak did that. I see exactly why, because he knows that eventually this is going to land on Drake too. And he want to make sure he get ahead of it by saying Kendrick Lamar is involved. So when all Kendrick fans come out, he can say, well, Kendrick was involved too. Kendrick did it too. They got it from Kendrick's man. As if, my thing is like, if Kojo is bodying stuff for everybody, how is it Kendrick's man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the real fuck question. If Kojo is bodying for everybody in the industry, how the fuck is it Kendrick's man? How's he Kendrick's man? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like somebody doing something for everybody and you say, that's your man. Like, well, he was doing something before you, him. It's everybody's man. But he gonna say that's Kendrick's, like, y'all saying it like it's Kendrick's cousin or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I'm sure if Drake knew that Kendrick was really doing these things with Kojo, he would have clearly said that. I think that he would have said that in The Heart Part 6. But he didn't say that. He said it in Family Matters. But he said it in Family Matters before the song even dropped. That's why I don't even take it serious. Because he knows that somebody uses that dude. And he probably was saying, look, this is what Drake probably was saying. He was saying, look, I know what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna use Kojo to go number one, and then y'all all gonna be slapping hands. That's what he was saying in the song. I think what's the dirt try to say that he knew that they were gonna do that. No, he was saying this is what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, this is the future. This is what's gonna happen. They're going to go number one because they're gonna contact Kojo, who bots everybody, and he's gonna push it to number one, and they're gonna be celebrating. That's basically what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what Drake is saying. It's like I'm foreshadowing this was going to happen. But he didn't know that Not Like Us was going to come out. He just said that. I think he was probably talking about Euphoria. But it's what he was saying. You know what I mean? But let's keep going.
Feature Drake on them getting fake streams, and even The Weeknd's manager being confused by it at first. Well, to know all of this and suddenly say that the only rapper that Drake has said he still is really good friends with and that will always stand by is somehow moving just like Kendrick Lamar, although Drake has been in these same rooms, he is literally on these albums, and these fake streams also count towards his record. Well, listen, get off the chair, your DoorDash driver is here, you gotta go. And now, while the Drake stans are trying to act like, once again, an album with Drake on it from his best friend means that Kendrick Lamar is botting streams once again because Act tried to deflect everything back to him because this is what these losers do? Well, listen, for the rest of us who are in reality, this has not just been the most suspicious proof we have found out about how fake the rule these losers had over rap for a time being was, but it really is showing that for Drake, and this is where it gets bad. Well, really, when you just look at everything and even see the way the numbers have flipped really since the lawsuit as a whole against him. Well, when you just see this and see how hard that the machine was pushing for Drake no matter what you did, which I think could be best remembered by the time where literally every single playlist possible on Spotify had Drake songs shoved into them no matter what the genre was.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell. Spotify should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. You had that nigga on every playlist, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Bro, you telling me that this dude wasn't manufactured and when they got all this dude on every playlist? On every playlist, every genre. I mean, every genre. How? He's not an alternative rock. How's he on that? Like, bro, it's crazy, bro. I never seen nothing like it.
And what they were doing. Well, really, the more we remember things like this and see how hard they were pushing Drake, although the music was not sticking after a while, and then you see what Young Thug is saying and really see how easy they make it to just lie and deceive to everybody. Well, to be honest, what I take from this is that we can really see how this whole group of Drake, 21 Savage, Young Thug, Lil Baby, and all of the rest of these losers, they've all been benefiting from the same plays and methods and with their quote-unquote success. Well, they've all been running plays with these stream farms like they are at a football game or something, and so now to just see the change in Drake numbers with this info being out there for us, and even seeing how much Drake was a part of the entire creative direction for the Business is Business album, well, really, when you look at this thing in its proper context, it just becomes more clear that Drake will never escape the bot allegations no matter how much he and his big buddies like Act try to deflect all of that. And well, just speaking of deflection from Act and the rush to try and put this on Kendrick Lamar after all of their secrets got out, and well, again, just ask yourself who is featured on this record and who was involved in the rollout more than any other rapper. What I will say is that now as we are seeing how easy it is to fake streams for these top level artists, and everyone has their tinfoil hats on trying to spot who benefits from this and who uses it and who does not. Well, listen, what I really do think is going on here now, as we 100% know that Young Thug is faking streams, he's used it to fake Gunna streams, and Drake has also benefited from this, and so many other rappers as well. Well, first off, what you should see and remember when we just think about things that could be going on behind the scenes in the music industry that are being hidden is that literally these rappers are so chart obsessed and so into just chasing clout that when it comes to these numbers, they will shell out 50,000 or even more amounts of money just to try and create an illusion that they are doing better than they are, which literally is messing up the
Thing is, man, if these niggas is talking 20 M's, 100 M's, 300 M's, $50,000 is no money to them. That's like 50 cents, bro. Like $50,000 is a lot of money, but to them it's really not. they could easily give that up at least 3, 4, 5 times. And who knows? Maybe I don't know. But that's no money to these dudes. These dudes have more money than you can. I'm going to tell you right now, man, when I was growing up, hip hop artists ain't had money like this. And a lot of hip hop artists didn't own their own labels. They was just signed. Now these hip hop artists are much more smarter than when I was growing up. They own their labels. They have streamings in their streaming farms. They have labels in their back pocket. They have sub labels. Like, yeah, they pretty smart, man.
Return on investment for a project. And when you just see what the rap game became and really look at all the problems that have lingered in the genre since this era where these guys kind of got in control and became stars, well, listen, I'm going to be 110% honest. I think, and from what I do know, I do think aside from Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Tyler, the Creator, every other star who is competing for top spots and who is on the charts in high places, they are running up bots more than they are actually running up and resonating with listeners. And to bring this full circle back to Drake, well, when you look back and see that he created this number-obsessed culture, and with something like Act's Response, well, he is the one riding on these claims to come out for Kendrick, and he can't get caught with any of these things whatsoever, because if the world sees how much of a liar and hypocrite he really is with 100% factual proof, well, then it will be all over. Well, really, over all of the crazy label antics and clear push that we have seen for Drake and so many other rappers when the demand was just not there for years. Well, listen, while we could have just left this as Young Thug exposed the entire industry for being losers, as we now have seen Act just try to take one of the biggest pieces of news that is exposing the industry firsthand from a rapper into something about Kendrick Lamar and not about the side of hip-hop that it's coming from. I don't have to say anything else. That tells you every single thing you need to know. And what I will leave you with is that really now, from all of these trash rappers who are a disgrace to the culture, from Jeffrey to Drake, I am sure that wherever they are hoping that more of this audio does not drop. Because if they were really this open about even saying all these things, you know that there is so much more going on that's way worse. And so now with all of this said,
That's a fact. He ain't never lie about that. And it just goes to show you people like to push a narrative. If academics is out here saying that Kendrick Lamar has something to do with this, I mean, like, he's saying, like, well, it's the same guy that botted Kendrick stuff. Why not say it's the same guy that botted Drake stuff? Why not say it's the same guy that be botting everybody's stuff? Why you have to tie Kendrick to this? Because you know deep down that what's going to happen is that your boy is going to get implemented in this. He knows that. He knows it.